We're not going to get it any better than that.
No, I don't think you can do it.
It should. Well, the thing is, like, when you're not showing the users list, you can't see when he's coming in.
I cannot do. Anything from us? Let me just see.
He's going to the server.
I know. So it's going to be a one-way presentation, I guess. And the questions have been typed, but it's okay.
That's all right.
I know you're speaking, but I cannot hear you.
It's okay. We don't have to. I've lowered it. Just let him do his thing.
Okay. What he's going to say later.
Hello, it's 1, 2, 3, but there is, I cannot hear you. Is it any voice or any sounds there? Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay, good morning everyone. It's already morning here, but I think there is afternoon over there. Let me starting my presentation. It's about in-memory computing server. In the text line is the server, maximize performance. It will be present here how to replace the removable parts of your computer into the more faster speed, and maybe sometimes the more of the disk itself will be replaced with sometimes something that faster enough than SSD.
You are now muted.
Okay, it's about my own self. My name is Anton Ansori. You can drop an email into my email and raharjo@telkomuniversity.ac.id, or you can add my Skype. I'm a young lecturer on Telkom University Bandung. I'm a research in multimedia, arts, graphics, computations, and simulations. We call it here magics. And also have been a chair in SFB Surabaya 2009 and member of class communities, Linux community in Surabaya since 2008. Okay. The background here, why I choose this.
He's going super slow. See the FPS. Quite the latency issue. Put up the users list so you can see when he dies. He's disconnected. He's from Indonesia. So
no, you shouldn't have any problem with that.
very far.
Apologies.
So
Everything was
every
perfect.
time the mic is just disconnecting from probably time him so far.
I'm gonna read them and kick them out.
It's not you, it's him. If he doesn't share his webcam, it'll be better.
Okay.
Because it could be a bandwidth issue as well. On the kind of connection.
Chad, I'm going to disconnect and go back to the phone.
Well, no, he does. Because your microphone will light up when you start talking. So as soon as the server doesn't register you, it's quite clear. But it's not you, Flarhead.
I know.
And it's not Chrome.
I know.
Oh, will be shared.
Yeah, I just want to be able to type this.
Oh, okay. It was going good for a bit.
Yeah.
But then his webcam started to lock up, which usually means bandwidth issue.
That's probably his end.
It's his end, it's not ours. But I was thinking if he doesn't share, the webcam throws a lot of data.
So that's what I'm going to do.
So if he doesn't throw the web, or if he doesn't put the webcam up, then it'll go better.
Just with the eye.
Yeah.
It's going to fall back on flash.
Yeah, and then IE would be quicker for us because now we're been working here on Seneca's end.
1, 2, 3, 2.
Seconds later, it actually shows up. So once you Chrome, so that adds time to.
Oh,
Hello?
hello, please don't share your webcam, Anton, so the bandwidth goes slower, so it won't get disconnected. Okay?
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll turn on.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Just type it.
Okay, it's okay.
Please don't share your webcam.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, please don't share your webcam, and that reduces bandwidth.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And then you can continue from background. We browse you right
Okay,
from the
okay.
beginning of background.
Okay, I'm stop sharing it.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. Alright. Oh, okay.
We are here ready.
Mm. Can I be the presenter?
Oh, my apologies.
Status?
My apologies, that's fine.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, everything's okay. Yes, everything's
Okay.
okay.
Okay, I'll continue. Can I continue? Okay, perfect. Okay, why I choose this presentation, this topics, because here in Indonesia, although there are many people can operate computer, but still a lot of people here cannot operate well the computer. Sometimes, in my own experience, several part of the Indonesia still they do not know how to operate computer well. Sometimes they are shutting down the computer using the power buttons, or sometimes it's also there is some electricity problems. Here it doesn't stable enough, so another way, based on my experience, to building labs and computer labs to create maybe between 10 to 20 computers. There's sometimes it will need more money because they will have to buy a computer, but the maintenance cost and the storage will be also higher. So to make a computer labs, we need, of course, we need a server, at least one server, and then we need multiple clients, sometimes in between 10 to 20, and this both of them, the server and the multiple clients, having a common part. It is a power supply, motherboard, processors, memories, of course the casing itself, and the disk drive. The second one, it is a limited budget. To create a computer labs here, we do not have a lot of money because many think that it is not the main part of the school or some university, and because this limited budget, we can remove the common removable parts. Of course, in server and in the multiple clients there, still the common part is power supply, motherboard, processor, memory, casing, and disk drive. So the only one that we can create safely is this one, the latest one, the disk drive.
You are now muted.
I asked him to mute our end.
Yeah, it's our end that is muted, not his.
Sure.
We can see the slides, but.
No.
Okay. The audio is disconnected. He's disconnected from. Oh yeah, we just got it.
I think it's just
You are now on
distance. It's
mute.
distance and his bandwidth.
Anton, I don't know if you can hear us or not, but your audio is disconnected again.
Yeah, he did, but don't always notice. And it comes through like 2 seconds later.
Unless it's a firewall, but they were supposed to have torn down the firewall for these 3 rooms.
No, so we're not using our servers anymore. We're using remote servers on
What do
properties.
you do, any solutions? Anything else, excuse me? Kevin?
No, they're all
Should I
gonna have the same issue.
Should I get the audio from Skype?
It could work better, maybe. The only thing is like,
All right,
yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Well, that's the problem
I'll
right
try
there.
everything, and we'll see what happens.
I saw that Windows 8.
Our site actually set up a lot quicker and a lot better than I thought it would be. It's actually pretty pain-free.
So you've heard sound coming out of the speakers already?
Oh yeah, no, he goes for a couple slides, but then the connection just dies. And then it takes a while, it takes up to a minute for it to actually recognize that it's died, because it waits for packets, but. Skype better than Google.
I just want the audio. Oh, what do you need?
Why do you want to Skype changed the input. Not much to take a picture of.
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay. The audio is coming through. You can start from topic 3, please.
Three. Which one?
The last topic, topic 3, please. There we go. Yes, the beginning of this. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, the beginning.
Yes, thank you.
Which number?
Right from 3, the beginning of 3.
Oh, the beginning of 3.
That's
Okay.
it. Here, thank you.
Sure. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's restart again. The transfer speed between this device is the hard drive. Also, today's hard drive is already have 15,000 kilo RPM, 15,000 RPM, but it's still the slower device, or maybe the slowest device if we are comparing to this one, an SSD. It's faster than the hard drive itself, and today's the SSD itself is almost in 250 gigabytes. It's commonly to have this kind of capacity in the SSD, but also in SSD itself, we are still pursuing the more and more transfer speed. So we can evolve into something using with the RAM itself. I think now the fastest in marketplace in the world, the fastest one is the memory itself, because as we know, memory itself, it is no moving part like an SSD, but it's small and still the fastest. And I will show you how fast the memory if we are going to use it later in this presentation. And then it's common also in the server to have at minimum in server between 8 to 16, but sometimes it can be 256 gigabytes. or maybe sometimes it's already in 1 terabyte of memory. So in two of them, now is already at affordable price to buy between the hard drive, the SSD, or the memory itself. And I think to use in everyday we can use memory, because I think there is no more. We don't use at maximum maybe in 16 gigabytes memory. It is rarely to use at maximum capacity. So and the fourth is maintenance. It's not a flash, but it's an electricity symbols. It will be a problem if the electricity is suddenly lost. And example, loss of contact. We suddenly pull off the contact. Or here, the electricity in here in Indonesia, of course, sometimes the electricity itself is unstable in the frequency. Okay, for the electricity itself, when it becomes unstable, it will be affect your computer. Sorry, it can be affected your computer, your personal computer, your laptops, or even your server itself. So to minimize a loss over there, it will be create. If the electricity itself having a problems here, it will be problems to operating system itself or the disk drive itself. If it comes to the operating system, it's easy. We can install it, or we can reinstall it, the operating system. But if it's already done to the disk drive, there is no choice. We must buy a new one. But of course, when it is come to the disk drive, it's rather complicated. It's not too much maybe for all of us, but if it's only several partitions in the disk drive, maybe just 1 or 2 partitions we are having. Sometimes like maybe we are having a Linux, Ubuntu, or Debian in our disk drive, but it will be a problem if we have a disk drive with many partitions. Although it's not only the operating system itself, but in the computing labs, it will be easier or maybe easy to maintenance if we are divided every of our needs into several partitions. So if the disk drive itself becoming the problems, then all of the partition will be gone and we are starting from the scratch and another like that. So there is a trade-off between the disk drive and the memory itself. The trade-off is the capacity. The first one is the capacity. Because in the capacity, the disk drive is now more and more capacity, but the memory is less capacity than the disk drive. But there is one thing is more, there is the speed. Speed between the disk drive and the memory, the speed of the disk drive, although it's now maybe faster than before, it's still less faster than the memory itself. So, and now maybe the memory is the fastest one, will be the champions of the another of them before. The technology here, I am going to try to test it before, is the technology that we can create many computer in our labs here in Telkom University, because we don't have computer labs here. We are using laptops to do many things in our labs daily activity. So will be going to try this technology, the LTSP. We are already commonly knowing this one, the thin fat client. LTSP are already able to do the thin or the fat clients, and the other one is the DRBL. It's specialized in fat client. But this one, these topics will be about many things about how we are able to improve the LTSP itself. By replacing the hard drive in the server into the memory. So we are trying to move all of the root files in the hard drive into the memory itself. So the server of the LTSP, will be while we are able to move this root file system, there will be no root file system in the hard drive, because we are moving into the memory, and then we will be using the memory itself as a temporary hard drive. So it will have many things that better than before. Okay. For the thin client, it's commonly to have like this one. The server itself here, it will be the main processing, the processing from the thin client here. Because in the thin client, there is no processing over there in the client. All the process is running into the server, and it will include the RAM and the processor. So all the processing is going into the server itself. The limiting is how powerful your processor to able to maintain the load of the thin client. And the other one is, of course, the fat client. In fat client, there is it's very different with the thin clients, not so much, but there's a basic difference. In fat client, we are using the server as a network disk or /home and the root file system, and then authenticate with the SSL. Secure shell, and the fat client here, they are using their own RAM and their CPU power to run the application. So the server here, it will be only used for the root file system, the home and the root file system. The processing power it run into the fat client, because they are using their own ability to run in the RAM and the CPU power of the fat client itself. So the burden, the load in the server will be slightly very much different than we are using the thin client. This is the labs in my own perspective. In here we can maximize the ability or the ability of the server of the LTSP by maximize the server itself. We can install the maximize computer memory into the server. So the server here will have the maximum capacity of memory, computer memory, and then we can divide the server itself into two parts. The first one is we can create multiple thin clients, and the other part is we can create multiple fat clients. It depends on our needs or our capacity to build it. And then, of course, in multiple thin clients, there will be no hard drive, because it is already run all of them in the server. And then for multiple fat clients, there is no hard drive, because the hard drive itself replaces into the server, but the processing power is processing in the fat clients. And now we are going to add once more that the server itself will be no disk drive also. So there is no disk drive in use while while the server is running. But for the first time, it will be used to this drive, or sometimes something like a drive that we can use for the first load. So it doesn't always use the hard drive, but we can use maybe the SSD or the MMC or something like USB drive to load the server, the root file system of the server into the file server memories. Here in LTSP server, there is a equation to use. The common equation is only for the LTSP server. It is used for 1,500 megabytes plus 30 times fat clients and plus 300 times and thin clients. But while we are using the Diskless server, that the LTSP server itself didn't have the hard drive while it's operating, so it is plus with your root file system. So the bigger your root file system here will be added more later. Maybe commonly in a minimum complete file system of the desktop environment in Linux. Sometimes it could be 1.5 gigabytes, or sometimes it can be more than that or less than that. So if we are using 16 gigabytes memory, it means we can have theoretically 450 fat clients or 45 thin clients. It is pure 16 gigabytes. The root file system which is loaded into the memory before, it is not counted. But if we are count it, then it will be added after the 16 gigabytes. So if we are, this is an example, if we are going to use, we are going to build 40 fat clients and 20 thin clients, we can use this equation that this is the root file system that we have in the server plus of the root file system that will be used for the thin or the fat clients, and then 30 times 40 of the fat clients and 300 times 20 for the thin clients. It is sum up to 8.7 gigabyte plus your capacity of root file system in your server. So the bigger the root file system you have in your server, the bigger will be added here. So it is the variable here. It depends on your root file system before. Okay. So here there is a step by step to create this server. I'm using this server by creating copying the root file system while it puts for the first time into the memories. I'm utilizing the TMP-FS temporary file system. Here, the first one is we are going to be root. It's not good to be a sudo, because we will be many times will be removing or some moving some things over here. The second one is we are going to modify the FS tab here. I'm using it and I'm modified to here. This is my root file system before the UUID. It is the root file system. So I comment all and I add this line, this one. So there is none. Here is none, so there is no ID. And then this is the root file system. This is the file system itself, and this is the options. So it will be the step by step will be like this one. So when it is the first time put, it will be copying all of the root file system in our hard drive or in our disk drive into the memory. Well, it is finished copying all of the root file system that we have into the memory. It will be into the TMP-FS file system, and all of the dependency or all of what we have in our root file system will be over there also. It's identically copied, but the most different is while we are using the disk drive, it will be permanently saved, but while we are using the TMP-FS, it will be gone when we are shutting down or restart our system. So the next part is we are going to modify the local scripts from the initram-FS. And now I'm only able to using the initram-FS to modify this server into the TMP-FS. The newest one is the Dracut, OpenSUSE and Fedora using Dracut to replace the initram-FS tools. I didn't know how to use it, but in the easiest part is using the distro that already supported the initram-FS. While we are modifying the local script, search for this line, which is mounting the root file system and choosing the file system type. And then must be commented, and then we are adding this one. So we are creating the /ramboot. This will be the temporary folders, and then we are copying all of like this one, the identically. If this one is the root mount, will be replaced by the ramboot temporary. And then we are going to mount the TMP-FS at maximum size capacity, 100%. And then we are going to copy identity copy into the ramboot. So these temporary copy files will be in the root mount, and we are after copying we will be unmount the ramboot temporary. So it will be copying identically. After that, of course, we are going to create init-rd image by using this command, initram-fs -o /init-rd emg/ramboot. This one is it's up to you to give it a name, but I am usually using this to easily remember.
May I pause you for a second? My apologies.
He's only got 15 minutes too.
Yeah, I just want to refresh because our slide stopped. I just want to refresh the browser. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Just a note, we have around 15 minutes left of the time. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. So after we are having after creating the init-rd, we are going to move back what we are modified before. So this is the backup. We will be override the local. After that, we are going to modify the group because there will be no option over there to load our init-rd. So I'm copying it identically. This is I'm using the first time using the Debian. So this is for the first time. This is the first load, but I'm copying and then I'm modifying it just only here in init-rd.emg minus run boot. After that, I'm having a performance test. This is my computer, which is sorry, is it
No, it's okay.
okay?
I'm hearing it.
This is the is it okay? Yeah. Okay, this is the computer, the laptop that I had used for this test. This is just the part of the test, and this is the specification of my laptops. And this is the processor intensive task. For the processor intensive task, for the left part, it is for the disk, and the right part is for the in-memory. So this is for the processor intensive task. There is almost no difference between two tasks. This is the Apache benchmark small PT and X264 video encoding. Almost no difference. So the processor is already in full capacity and fully utilized. The other one is for the John the Ripper. It is almost the same. Let me see this one. It is almost identical for the processor intensive task. And this is the interesting of the disk intensive test. While we are using the disk intensive test, there is something that very much difference this one. So the I/O stress for the random write, while using the disk, it's only have 200 megabyte, but while using the memory, it could be almost 5 gigabyte. For the read, this is the read, the HD parm time disk read. It's almost identical, 107. And this is for the unpacking Linux kernel. It's almost the same time. Connectivity problems. Is there something? That's
You're disconnected, Anton.
okay.
Maybe next. Are we connected?
That does work.
Okay, can I be the presenter?
Sure. All right.
Okay, perfect. And this is the test for the I/O zone, which will be test the disk intensive, really intensive, of course. For the read performance, it is almost the same because it is reading from the temporary from the jets itself. It's almost the same, but in the write performance, this one. Wait, I will be here. Okay. For this one, while we are using the disk, it is almost 70 megabytes, but for the write performance, while we are using memory, it's almost 4 gigabytes. And then this one, sorry, it's just reconnecting again.
Coming.
Okay. Can I be the presenter?
Yes, I'll set you, don't worry.
Okay. For this one, there is another one. Well, I'm using test for record size 1 megabyte and the file size is 2 gigabyte. This test is write performance. while we are using this, it is only 70 megabytes, but while we are using the memory, it's almost 5 gigabytes, more than 5 gigabytes. It's also this one. For the write performance, 64 kilobit, for the file size 2 gigabytes. Connectivity problems here?
I will set you up as soon as it comes up.
Okay. So this will be this one. This is almost 70 megabytes, and this is more than 5 gigabytes. So the average performance speed while using the memory and using the disk itself, it's very large. And another part is this one. So this is the conclusion for the test record. While we are using the write performance here, it is very large difference speeds. It is only almost between 70 megabytes, but here is in between 5 gigabytes. So this is for the memory intensive task. It's almost no difference, just a slight one, because the server didn't use the disk drive, it's used the memory. So this is the RAM speed test. It's almost 14 gigabytes. And for the stream, it's also almost in between 14 to 16 gigabytes. It is the speed of the memory, and then this is the next thing that I will do in the near future. I will be creating an automatic ways, although whether it is a CLI, command line interface, or GUI, or graphical user interface. The second one will be, maybe can be wrapping it into bootable distro, because while I am using the first time with the Debian, I am failed. But while using the Ubuntu and the derivative of the Ubuntu itself, I didn't have tested it already, because I'm still trying to create it from the scratch. After that, if this second one is able to create, it should be tested on all distro, including the Dragon version. It is in OpenSUSE or in Fedora, and then creating a web builder like OpenSUSE Studio, so we can create many things in fastest ways, because there is no slower device over there. As we know, the speed is very fantastic over there, and maybe implement it in many things, like maybe, if it's possible, maybe the big blue box itself running in the server of the Diskless. And there's a Slack documentation here. I'm videoing my project in YouTube's in these links, and there's a GitHub version. I didn't already edit anything to the GitHub, because I'm still trying to create a script to create the easier part of this. And then, thank you, it's all I have.